Hypocrisy. New York Times alleges conspiracy after backing boycotts of conservative media. Hi, great to have you all with us. If you are new to TST, tap on the subscription button and click the notification bell so you can receive authentic news that you can rely on daily. New York Times publisher A.G. Sulzberger alleged that his newspaper was the target of a vast right-wing conspiracy on Sunday, after the paper boosted an effort to shut down conservative media by encouraging boycotts since early 2017. Last week, Breitbart News exposed a history of racist and anti-Semitic tweets by a Times politics editor, Tom Wright-Piersanti. The Times admitted Sunday in a news article that the tweets were racist and anti-Semitic, though it did not indicate what action, if any, it was taken against the editor. In a statement to newsroom staff, Sulzberger, who did not acknowledge that the tweets were racist and anti-Semitic, alleged that the Times had been the victim of a coordinated campaign by President Trump's allies to attack hundreds of journalists in retaliation for coverage of the administration. The Times' objection is rich, given that it boosted an effort by left-wing activists to shut down conservative media solely for their journalists' coverage of the left and their editorial support for President Donald Trump. In January 2017, the Times published an op-ed by author named Pagan Kennedy titled "How to Destroy the Business Model of Breitbart and Fake News." The article was a puff piece boosting the efforts of sleeping giants, whose ringleader was later unmasked by the Daily Caller as advertising executive Matt Rivets. The piece even reprinted instructions for helping the boycott. It concluded admiringly, "A new consumer movement is rising, and activists believe that where votes failed, wallets may prevail. The struggle is about much more than ads on Breitbart News. It's about using corporations as shields to protect vulnerable people from bullying and hate crimes." The Times is attempting to play the victim rather than applying the same standard toward hate speech in its own room that it applies to others. Sulzberger, who took over the paper in 2018, claims the Times has high standards, but in effect, he is arguing that Times journalists ought to be held to a lower standard, that it is unfair to report on news organizations in the same way that news organizations report on elected officials and other public figures. Perhaps the most laughable claim in Sulzberger's statement is that the Times critics are unable to challenge the accuracy of our reporting. This is a newspaper that chased the Russia collusion hoax for the better part of 3 years, and whose executive editor, Dean Banquet, recently described plans to build the next year of news around the idea that racism and white supremacy are the foundation of all of the system in the country. That is not journalism, that is propaganda. And for years, the Times has been propagandizing against conservative media outlets, hoping to destroy them, even printing instructions to guide readers in the effort. Far from being a victim, the Times is one of the great bullies of the mainstream media. Scrutiny is long overdue. What do you think? What stand should the conservative media take against Time? Let us know about your thoughts in the comments down below. If you've liked this report, please share among friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to Top Stories Today. Thank you for watching. I'm David Ravine. See you in the next one.